When it comes to sequels to existing IPs, it is important to keep the aesthetics of the game but also improving the flaws of it, or else you will end up being seen milking the franchise for easy money. As for Slime Rancher 2, even as an early access game, there is still major improvements they have made from the first game. In this video, I am going to give my top 5 major improvements to Slime Rancher 2 in no particular order. Let's get ranging. Clipping can be a fun and sometimes game-breaking feature to the game. In the first Slime Rancher game, clipping wasn't a major problem, but sometimes it breaks the immersion, especially when a tappy jumps on you. In Slime Rancher 2, they got rid of the problem. Now, when you enter a grotto full of slimy boys, you don't have to feel that you are being fusioned into one. Instead, the slime just bounce off of you, happy to see you. Of course, clipping still exists, but not as frequent as the first game. The graphics are no doubt the biggest change. Monomi Park definitely put a lot of their hard-earned new bugs into the visual department. The colors are much brighter, vivid, and brings the world full of personality that you wish you could be shipped into this island. No doubt, the first game has its own visual aesthetic that is unique. If you look at both games in comparison, it's practically day and night. I'm not saying the first Slime Rancher game is terrible, just a little dated. It is like looking at your old artwork from 10 years ago and comparing it to your current style. It shows how much you have improved. Now, when it comes to system requirements for both games, yeah, you need a better working PC than your typical potato you've been using. Did you know that there is a flashlight in the first game? I only knew this when I was trying to figure out the screenshot button. Honestly, there was no reason for this feature to be included. The game was vibrant the way it is, even at night. Mechanically, just like my existence, it did not have a purpose other than to surprise you. In the sequel, they got rid of that flashlight completely. The game is extra vibrant as it is, and adding a flashlight will likely destroy the game. This improvement is probably the second most noticeable thing. How we spring, interact, and Fat Pack is buttery smooth. Now, the footage I am showing you is probably not getting it justice because my video card is old. Trust me, just the footage from YouTube and trailers is satisfying to watch. From the slimes jiggling around to the environment, from the beautiful visuals of the grass brushing against the wind. There has been only two couple of moments frame rates drop harder than my brain in college exams. For example, when teleporting to a new area, that's kinda normal for most games because the system is trying to render the world. Another example is that sometimes my screen blinks black, if that makes sense. Not too sure why it does that. Could be just my end. Lastly is the lack of sky whenever I record using OBS. Apparently this is unique to me. Even now I am unsure how to fix this problem other than switching to a new recorder. The game runs nice, but the texture disappears as if the Shadow Realm is trying to take over. Despite what I previously mentioned, depending on the type of PC you're running, it performs very well. As for consoles, I have no idea what the performance is like because I am not a console peasant. Lastly is that the sequel is bigger. In the first Slime Rancher game, we got 6 areas to explore, including the wilds. I'm excluding these two, Nimble Valley and the Slime Relation, because Nimble Valley is more of a racing course, while the Slime Relation is just a simulation of the existing 4 areas, just in digital form. In the sequel though, we got Rainbow Fields, Ember Valley, Starlight Strands, and the latest Powder seriously guys, I'm having a hard time pronouncing this. Powder Falls Bluffs. You might be thinking that is little compared to the first game, but when you really think about it, it's the areas we're starting out when you first boot up the game. Not counting the other more areas that Monomi Park is planning to release soon. That is very impressive. It is even more exciting to those who haven't bought the game yet and are waiting for it to be out of early access. You guys are going to have quiet atrium when it's fully released. And that is it for now, dear ranchers. What do you guys think of the game? Is there other improvements that I didn't mention yet? Let me know down below. Like always, stay weekly.